Hey y'all, so this is another video about the dark woke stuff. I'm just curious about it. I went ahead and signed up for like the 7 day whatever trial for the New York Times. I don't read this kind of stuff normally, but since it's was posted on X, you remember, well, I put this in the description for the video, but I just posted another video about dark woke because I was just kind of curious about what the heck it is. But anyway, it says dark woke, or what is dark woke? Democrats are trying out a new attitude. It's provocative, edgy, and perilously towing the line of not being too offensive. It says Representative Jasmine Crockett, Democrat of Texas, has on more than one occasion directed name calling and insults at her political opponents. Jason Andrew for the New York Times by Jack Crosby, April or published April 21st, 2025, updated April 23rd, 2025 at 10:53 a.m. There was a time last summer when the Democrat Party was cool. Kamala Harris had just stepped in as the Democrat Party's nominee for president in the waning days of brat summer, whatever the brat summer, I don't even know what that means, but I'm old, so just excuse me. Is that she went on the popular podcast Call Her Daddy. Tim Wall's outdoorsy drip led to a Chappelle Roan inspired camo trucker hat. I don't know who some of these people are. And it says the memes were flowing and the party's mood was high. That moment had long passed with Donald Trump back in the White House. The culture of dude heavy pop podcast programming, provocative insults, and so called masculine energy that helped him get there seems like the dominant one. And to some, the response from the left during the previous Trump era, defined by an earnest resistance to the president's agenda, appears outdated and cringe. As liberals tried to get their groove back, some party insiders say Democratic politicians have been encouraged to embrace a new form of combative rhetoric aimed at winning back voters who have responded to President Trump's no holds barred view or version of politics. It's an attempt to step outside the bounds of the political correctness that Republicans have accused Democrats of establishing. And it requires being crass but discerning, rude but only to a point. Online, it has a name. It's dark woke. Republicans have essentially put Democrats in a respectability prison, says Bhavik Lathia. Actually, I think it's the other way around, to be honest. But anyway, it says a communications consultant and former digital director for the Wisconsin Democrat Party. There is an extreme imbalance in strategy that allows Republicans to say stuff that really grabs voters' attentions, where we're stuck saying boring pablum. I see this as a strategic shift within Democrat messaging. I'm a big fan of dark woke. Dark woke for now is a meme that lives mostly online, but its roots have been sown throughout the party for years. In the waning days of the Biden administration, memes about Dark Brandon often referred to the version of the former president that conservatives most feared. I don't think anybody feared Biden. Sorry. It says outside the party, the dirtbag left, the term for a cohort of leftist provocateurs who eschew either a shoe or skew, I don't know, I think it's a shoe, civility, politics, inspired headlines for their unrestrained derision of conservatives and liberals alike. And then Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota is among those who have tried to embrace the dark woke effect, please. Every so often, these political currents would come to a head during a meeting of the House Oversight Committee last May. Representative Jasmine Crockett, Democrat of Texas, found herself in a spat with Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican of Georgia, after Miss Greene made a jibe about fake eyelashes that the chair, Representative James Comer, Republican of Kentucky, declined to prosecute under the committee's rules on decorum. Mr. Chair, a point of order, Ms. Crockett said, I'm just curious. Just to better understand your ruling, if someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach, blonde, bad built, butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct? And then Miss Crockett's moment became a meme. It was printed on t-shirts. It got her an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel, and now Democratic strategists say it has become a perfect example of dark woke. The reach of Miss Crockett's comment seems to show the Democrat clapbacks could permeate into cultural spaces, giving the leaders who delivered them new platforms to spread their ideas to a new, younger generation of Democratic staffers. This was exactly the link they had seen their opponents exploiting for years. All these new staffers, we grew up seeing extremely vile content overflowing from right wing spaces into regular spaces. Say Caleb Brock, 23, the director of digital strategy for Representative Ro Khanna, Democrat of California. We're ready to combat that by any means necessary. Democrats have looked within their own ranks. Chiasa, I don't know how you say that, the Brooklyn councilman whose meme fluence, sometimes confrontational presence on X has put him on the radar of national Democrat organizers, says he was recently asked to help the senior or Senate Democratic caucus with their social media strategy. And then being able to use this strategy of being raw and unapologetic and unabashed about our beliefs is something our base really wants. Mr. Asa said he referred to a quote by one of Mayor Eric Adams's advisors, Ingrid Lewis Martin, who said, "When they go low, you got to dig for oil." Okay. And this Chai or Asa, or whatever his name is, a young councilman in Brooklyn, said he believes the Democratic base crazed politicians who are raw and unapologetic about their convictions. It goes against the known credo of Michelle Obama, who in 2016 preached, "When they go low, we go high." Instead, some Democrats want to see how low they can go too. And you see it all the time, to be honest. It says in May, Miss Crockett made headlines again, or April, excuse me, in April. Miss Crockett made headlines again when she referred to Governor Greg Abbott of Texas, who uses a wheelchair, as Governor Hot Wheels, a remark that many in the disability community found offensive. Miss Crockett's office did not respond to a request for comment. That backlash, however, was short-lived. Lately, the bar on acceptable speech seems to have been set low enough that you would have to catch someone saying a slur or something for it to really break through, says Tyson Brody, a Democrat strategist and opposition researcher. People are pretty forgiving, he added. But others say there is a line that Democrats should be sure to toe as they ramp up their attacks. You don't have to be cruel to be sharp, said Annie Wu, 29, a communication strategist based in Philadelphia, who has worked for both Mr. Khanna and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. We can be bold, we can be petty, we can be punchy and still have a moral compass. We don't have to replicate the rights formula. Still, Democrats have embraced some aspects of the rights toolkit, as Trump advisors like Elon Musk have used slurs and profanity online. Communications consultant for Democratic politicians have encouraged or allowed more swearing. Profanity, Mr. Brody, 38, said, is often seen as a shortcut to authenticity, though it can also be overused and backfired. And I think that's where they're at, really. I know I'm doing something right when the Fox News crowd is all just bitching at me like crazy, Mr. Walls said at a town hall meeting in Lorain, Ohio this month. I'm loving it. Elon Musk was crying last week. Tim is being mean to me. In an email, a spokesperson for the Democrat National Committee said the party's main account on X had gained 1 million followers since the beginning of the year, pointing to several examples of viral moments, some embodying the principles of dark woke that had garnered some 800 million impressions across platforms in the same time period. It's not resonating with everyone. For some, the universal truism that it can never be cool to try so hard applies here. Hold on. For some, the universal truism that it can never be cool to try so hard applies here. Okay. Others too have criticized Democrats for seeing or seeming to place some premium on effect over policy. Alex Peter, a lawyer and left wing commentator who makes content under the handle LOL Overruled, said the Democrats' new focus on viral dark woke posts was just a lot of hot air. Part of the problem with the mainstream Democrat Party is that it all kind of rings hollow, Mr. Peter 33 said. I don't care about another clapback. People want concrete deliverables. Yeah, I'm not a Democrat, I'm a Republican or more like independent, but whatever. I would rather have somebody that can deliver on their promises because they'll make campaign promises and never follow through, but nobody does anything about it. So, whatever. Republicans as well do not seem phased. Vish Burra, 34, the press secretary for the New York Young Republicans Club, said the Democrats' fledgling attempts to go dark woke were not a significant threat. They're getting spicier and being more vicious in their attacks, said Mr. Burra, who has advised of former president or representatives Matt Gaetz and George Santos. Whatever. You have no power against us. The best you can squeeze out is Chuck Schumer on TikTok and Cory Booker going on for 25 hours. And then right here, just as a correction was made on April 23rd, 2025, an earlier version of this article misspelled the name of a city that hosted a Tim Walz event. It is Lorain, Ohio, not Lorraine. Okay. Let's see. I don't know if there's any comments attached to this. I like to go to the comments, just want to see what people are saying. But maybe it doesn't have comments. Okay, cool. Guess they don't allow comments on here. But anyway, so I just wanted to show y'all the article that's actually talking about this dark woke stuff. I don't think it's resonating because I don't think it's like authentic. They're just trying to be edgy, but I don't think it's like really who they are. Just like the lady said, she doesn't cuss, and you can tell she doesn't know how to use the words. Where she says we're gonna F Trump, but it's like, hello, that's not how you're supposed to say it. We've got to mess with Trump or screw him over or whatever you want to say. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to bring this up because it's kind of strange, this new strategy. I guess they've been doing it for a while, but still, it's just like the ad hominem attacks and all that stuff. But anyway, y'all have a great afternoon. I might try to take the dog for another walk. She got worn out earlier because it's getting hotter here in Texas. But anyway, I'll talk to y'all. I'll try to get the rest of those. I've got 2 more videos for the JFK files for part 15. But I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow because I don't feel like doing anything else like that. But anyway, I'll see y'all around. Like, share, and subscribe. Talk to y'all. Bye.